Welcome back, my esteemed jury, all the teachers who have students to be prepared, and of course my beloved friends. Welcome to quarterfinals of the debate. Before we start, I congratulate all my friends who have come this far. This part of the debate will also be in success. Now, I will tell you about a few changes in the scoring. Due to the number of schools, everyone will be evaluated on their points, so even if you lose to the opposing team, you will still have a chance to win. I don't need to remind the old rules, but I will remind them if any of you request it. Okay. If you don't have any question, let's get started. Let's start by getting to know the teams. First team is proposition side, Metin Kazancı Rize High School. They will defend technology is a monster for teenagers. And the opposition side, there is Güneysu Kaptan, Ahmet, Erdoğan, İmam High School. And they will defend technology is useful for teenagers. Now, we will start with the proposition side. You have 4 minutes, and you can start. No, you can start whenever you are ready.
Hi, I'm Senem. Today, me and my friends try to tell you why technology is a monster for teenagers. Firstly, during the period we call adolescence, we encounter many changes, both physically and psychologically. Like we do whatever we want, we don't...
Please use your microphone wisely for clear understanding.
We do whatever we want and we don't want to be restricted. And at this moment, technology is a monster for teenagers. TikTok and other social media platforms that we hear about a lot are a great danger in our adolescence. Thanks to TikTok, the tendency to do whatever is popular has increased. For example,
Okay, that's all right.
11th grade named Güneysu, who was preparing to become a national athlete, one day her friends want to record a video with him, and during the video they want to make a joke to Güneysu for the popular trend, and so she broke her spin. So she had to postpone her dream. Another example is, one of the cousins who went to the roof for take a video, she stepped on the plastic part on the roof, and she fell into the apartment gap and died. I think we don't need to take such a dangerous risk, just a momentary entertainment. When teenagers use technology for socialize, they may not realize makes them more antisocial. I mean, technology makes teenagers more lonely. Secondly, I want to talk about use technology consciously. The parents who think that use technology consciously think that children can watch with good content video after activate the limiting setting on their social media platforms. But however they set the limit, it is the content creators turn off the sound effects and makes them again watch negative examples. Lastly, I want to talk about desire to imitate everything we see, especially in our adolescence. A teenager can imitate her favorite book character or movie character or game character. It may sound creative and fun to you, but for a teenager, it's a horrible thing. Even though I don't want to talk about it, I'm going to explain it briefly. In a recent year, a student at school in Rize harmed his friend, then himself. Unfortunately, his friend died and he was in a critical condition. Nobody knows why he did this, but it's known that he shared a post on his social media account saying, "Tomorrow exams will be cancelled," the day before the incident. And also he was a big fan of the movie and games The Saw. The Saw game requires to cut off the heads of character to pass the levels, and that's the way he killed friends too. When middle-aged just watch the movie and pass by, it is not same for teenagers. For a teenager, everything is an adventure. He can't control himself. Before he can even control himself, he falls under the control of technology. How much boundaries are set and attention is paid, it does not change the fact that technology is a monster. Because if you need someone's life or your own, this is a real monster it is. And my question is, can you leave your devices and sit with your family about 1 hour?
Thank you, debater. Thanks for using your time. Okay, thanks for using time wisely. And did you get the question? Okay. Now we will continue with the second debater. You have 4 minutes. You may start.
Hi, I am EJ. Today I am going to talk about the negative and crucial effects of social media for teenagers. In today's digital age, technology has woven itself into the fabric of everyday life, especially for teenagers. While hailed for its convenience and connectivity, technology often assumes a monstrous guise. I'm sorry, wait a minute. Posing significant dangers to the well-being and development of adolescents. From addictive tendencies to detrimental impacts on social skills and mental health, the perils of technology for teenagers are multi-faced and deserves of attention. Firstly, let's take a look on the topic of social media addiction. Teenagers can become addicted to social media platforms like Instagram, Snapchat, or TikTok, and constantly seeking validations through likes, comments, or followers. This addiction can lead to decreased self-esteem, anxiety, and depression as we teens compare ourselves to others and feel pressure to maintain a certain image online. As we teenagers are often compare ourselves to others and we feel anxious about it because of our young age. We are scared because we think people won't like us, and we change ourselves in public, in social media platforms. And there's a bad example about the addiction we have on us actually. Losing your personality just so you can be accepted by other people is something bad for you. I'm sorry. At first, we like the attention we have on us, but truthfully, it means nothing to us. The other bad effect is the anonymity of the internet makes it easy for predators to disguise themselves and target vulnerable teenagers. They may use social media, online gaming platforms, or chat rooms to groom and manipulate teens into engaging in inappropriate or dangerous behaviors, posing serious risks to their safety and well-being. We can see in the news that a teenager who uses his phone can fall for dangerous things, such as sharing their information, like their ID card or their address, or worse, themselves, and that can lead to much trouble. To give a tangible example about these predators, I want to talk about the Blue Whale. It was a game played by teenagers a few years ago. This game is about giving 50 instructions to teenagers and command them to finish these instructions in 50 days. These instructions include things like cutting off your arm or your legs, watching horror movies, listening to loud music in public places, or hurting someone. And these are horrible things, am I right? And at the end of the 50th day, the person is given the command to commit suicide by jumping from a height or hanging himself, which is the last stage. And I want to ask you that, how can you say technology is completely useful for teenagers while we have examples like this? Thank you for listening to me. That's all.
Okay, thank you, debater. Thanks for using time wisely. And now we will continue with the third debater. You can start.
Hi, I'm Zeynep. Today I will tell you about how our security is under threat with the advancement of the technology. First of all, as everyone knows, we take hundreds of photos in a day and we definitely share them somewhere. So how far do these photos go? Do these photos only reach people we know? Let's talk about this. The photos we take and share on social media are taken by some artificial intelligence companies without our permission. The social media applications can store millions of faces in the same way. Sounds creepy, doesn't it? In the same way, some AI companies can use our photos for different purposes in different places without our permission. And for example, some companies can use our photos differently on other bodies. They make us look like someone we are not. And they also claim that by making changes to our faces, they are keeping our identity a secret in this way. Our photos are no longer just visual anymore. Along with the image, our location information may also be captured. In this way, more information about us gets into the hands of malicious people. Sometimes malicious people take advantage of our position to deal with where we are not in the same way. This leads to some possible burglaries while we are not at home. When we take into account all these dangers, we should be more aware. Especially among young people, that is, people our age, excessive sharing of photos and videos is increasing day by day. We are not all aware of the seriousness of this incident. And sometimes we want to share what is happening in our lives with people we know. And also, some of our desires, such as becoming a phenomenon, appear. We threw ourselves into danger when we want to share what is happening in our lives with people we don't know. So, we want to be more aware of the situation. This desire to be seen by everyone, which is increasing these days, may one day end up in a very negative way. So, for example, the movie known as Mechanism is based on a true story. A girl named Megan is friends with someone she met online, and her friend Amy warns her. Megan, on the other hand, continues her friendship. Megan, who decided to meet her virtual friend, is kidnapped. After that, her friend Amy, who sets out to look for her, is also kidnapped. Then, both girls are found dead in a barrel. Therefore, we should protect ourselves against the harms caused by developing technology and increase our awareness. Now, I have a question for you. Do you believe that you always use technology cautiously and it is not harmful? Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, debater. Thanks for using your time wisely. And we will continue with the opposition side to defend themselves. You have 4 minutes. You can start.
Distinguished juries, distinguished proposition team, and dear audience. As the first speaker of the opposition team, I, before my speech, would like to draw your attention to the fact that we do not appreciate such groundless and empty views solely seeking to denigrate technology with its negative aspects. Rather, as the opposition team, we aim to put forward plausible ideas on the issue at hand. Therefore, as the first speaker, I will introduce the topic without going beyond its scope. Then our second speaker will accentuate supporting the subject, backing it up with a comprehensive narrative that will leave no question left in mind. Finally, the third speaker is going to seamlessly convey the message that, under the right circumstances, technology, without a doubt, has a beneficial and positive impact on teenagers. Now, in front of your eyes, I shall present you with 2 fundamental aspects based on why technology has played an important role, enduring and immeasurable value since the dawn of human existence. The objective I want to prove here is that under the name of technology lies magnificent things, and that the problems that derive from it are our own doing. First and foremost, in modern terms, the Industrial Revolution, which began in the United Kingdom in the 18th century with the discovery of steam power, started the technological evolution of humanity. This revolution brought about mass production, factory systems, and many other far-reaching technological discoveries by shifting from manual labor to the use of machinery. However, to limit technology to these recent developments is to ignore humanity's rich history of innovation, a total mistake. Technology is not limited to smartphones and powerful computers. Although these developments have revolutionized the way we live, work, and communicate, they represent only part of humanity's technological journey. The eye-catching point here is to reflect on the achievements of our ancestors in the distant past. From stone tools to the mastery of fire to the invention of the wheel. These milestones are triumphs of human ingenuity and problem solving. Technology is not a monster. On the contrary, it's a friend to the old, the young, and the adult, regardless of age, intertwined with humankind. Next in order, in this digital era, everybody knows how technology plays an integral role in our lives. However, amidst its many offering countless benefits, amidst its many advantages, there is a well-known concern which makes parents worry a lot. It is addictive, especially for us teenagers. But is it technology itself really to blame here? Technology is a tool. neither inherently good nor bad. It's our behavior and usage patterns that determine its impact on our lives. There's a saying that goes like, you can only have too much of a good thing, which emphasizes that the problem arises when us, teenagers, fail to exercise self-control and moderation, allowing ourselves to become addicted. On the whole, what as the opposition team want to underline the factor here is that technology has been a crucial asset throughout history. We clearly witness that looking into our past proves that the technology developed within our evolution like a loving sibling to us. Therefore, technology, when used responsibly, enriches our lives and society as a whole. We teenagers shall not exploit its benefits just because of our extremisms and then call it a monster. Now, before I end my speech, I would like to ask the honorable juries and the proposition team that even if we use technology for this debate and other instances, how can we still call the technology a monster? Thank you.
Thank you. Did you get the question? All right, now we will continue with the second debater to make his speech.
Honorable juries, fellow government team and dear audience. Before I start my speech, there's one point that I would like to emphasize. As you all know, what we define technology is definitely for the benefit of teenagers in many areas, and any other view than this will not be defended by opposition team. And as the second speaker of opposition team, I will adduce key facts about topic in my speech. In 21st century, technological developments are improving fast and unstoppable. As it is expected, teenagers are the ones that benefit from technology chiefly due to this reason. Today's teenagers, what we call Gen Z, have grown up with technological devices in general. Therefore, they are prone to use technology more efficiently than the adults. But the adults, our parents, are not happy with their child spending hours with technological devices because they think that the teenagers are wasting their time. And even because of this meaningless idea, they identify technology as a monster. But is this the case? Are teenagers wasting their time while dealing with technology? I strongly disagree. Me and my team believe in it. If the technology used, edict, and organized, we can solve all the problems that teenagers are facing today. Firstly, a social means avoiding social interaction, inconsiderate or hostile to others. Technology improves social networks. That means, while using technology, the number of people you can talk to, discuss to increase. And technology, instead of making teenagers asocial, it helps to teachers, students become more social. As you all can imagine, technology also plays a massive role in education. Teachers want to improve students' performance, and technology can help them accomplish the same. To mitigate the challenges, administrators should help teachers gain competencies needed to enhance through learning through technology. Technology in classroom should make teachers' job easier without adding extra time to their day. In addition, it helps students to explore new subjects and deepen their understanding of difficult concepts, particularly in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Through the use of technology inside and outside of the classroom, students can gain 21st century technical skills necessary for future occupations. And that's not even all. We can skip online education when we talk about the benefits of technology in education, right? As you all know, a big tragedy happened 4 years ago. A virus named COVID-19 originated from Wuhan, China, and started to spread all other countries. Therefore, schools shut down, and students started online education for 2 years. You might say that online education is not efficient as face-to-face education, but that's your idea, of course, but without the online education, students would lose 2 years of learning time. In conclusion, we can readily see the benefits of technology in many areas, such as education and socializing. So, thank you.
Okay, debater, thanks for using time more wisely. And we will continue with the third debater. Yeah, please.
Esteemed juries and fellow audience. So, is technology a monster for teenagers? It's quite a long question, and yet to immerse ourselves in this topic, I think we should inspect this monster closely. Who is this monster?
The word technology comes from the Greek root techne, the Greek word for art, skill, craft, and technique. The modern word in technology comes from the prefix techne and suffix ology. Both words are of Greek origin combined to mean the practical application of knowledge. So far, it doesn't seem like a monster at all. But why call it a monster then? You would at first see in our situation that it's nothing new to indicate that technology could also have harm on some certain situations. This is present through human history more than anything else. Let's think about cars, for example. Cars may also have the harm in some certain situations. Although I know this well, I personally came here with a car, like all of us. We can't deny that technology can harm teenagers in some certain situations too. But if that's the case, why do I still claim that technology is not a monster for teenagers? It's like in the car example, technology's benefits are always present in our lives, yet we are not always aware of them. And I could best explain this with an example, which is happening literally right under your nose. I want you to think about our situation right now. We are talking English, which isn't our mother tongue, in another school to participate in a debate on whether technology is a monster for teenagers. Well, at first glance, this situation seems ironic to me. Because in this context, I ask myself the question that could this debate happen without technology? Would I be able to speak English, for example? Would I be able to do research on the topic? Or would you be able to do research on the topic? When you think about this further, you come to realize that even if the proposition team does win, whether by showing your research, whether by technological tools or using books for their research, which is hardly possible, it doesn't matter. Even if they do win, there will still be the technology's help underneath. And I think this answers the question I asked before. Why do I still claim that technology is not a monster for teenagers, if I think it has undeniable harms too? Because I think that even if you wanted to raise awareness on the dangers of technology, you could only do so with the help of technology. And this also brings us to our argument that calling technology a monster for teenagers is problematic. Why is it problematic? All I said from the beginning of my speech was that only with the right attitude towards technology you can overcome the negativity of it. Remember that I said technology can also have negative aspects too. But even though, yet our thesis is that if you are aware of the negative aspects of technology, we can stop using it. The only way for us to protect ourselves from it is with the help of technology. And I will explain this with a perfect analogy for our situation. When the first steam trains was made, it could have been speculated that they pollute the air, therefore the technology is bad and should be blamed. While perfectly reasonable for the time, we now know only by embracing technology we were able to produce electric locomotives which are emission-free. Technology can only be, the solution to technology can only be produced by technology. So, in this case, it's the same with teenagers. Even if you want to raise awareness on the dangers of technology, even only with technology at their disposal, teenagers can produce a way out of their predicament. Like you do every day by searching on the internet, but you don't know. And now I want to summarize it all in a comprehensive manner, using a myth from the Greek culture, in which the word technology was derived. In Greek myth, Daedalus and Icarus was trapped in a tower by King Minos. And Daedalus was a skilled craftsman who crafted two pairs of wings to escape from the tower. Daedalus then instructed Icarus not to fly too high nor too low, because if they fly low, their wings will get wet and be too heavy to fly. And if they fly too high, the wax that holds the wings together will melt and they will surely fall. Then Icarus, also a teenager, who gets overwhelmed after they escape the tower, who gets overwhelmed by the desire to become a god and starts to rise towards the sun. Eventually the wax melts and Icarus falls down. What can we make of this? Icarus, our situation as teenagers is no different from Icarus. We are trapped in a tower, let's say, the negative aspects of technology. And only way out for us is with the help of technology. But we shouldn't lose the balance between sun and sea. We shouldn't see technology as a tool to become a god nor a monster. Then we run the risk of stifling the innovations that we can all think at the top of our heads that have transformed the world for the better and will continue to do so.
Okay, you waited.
Okay, can I ask my question?
Okay, please. When they finish their speeches, they still have a little time, like 50 seconds or something, maybe 20 seconds, and he can ask this question.
How do you plan to solve the dangers of technology while calling it a monster, I say?
Okay, thank you. And you also have the time, so you can use it. Okay. Now we will continue the second part of the debate. And proposition side, you have each 3 minutes. You cannot ask questions, but can answer them. And please start.
You say technology not limiting just for the internet, but if you look at our teenagers, they use the technology mostly internet. And you ask the question, my answer is, our example is clearly explain it. I want to talk about, have you ever happened to you like you talking about to friends, I need a new phone, and after a few minutes a phone advertisement appears on your phone. And you be like, wow, it's like they're listening to me. Yes, they are listening to you. Now let's think in the term of adolescence. In this period, when we are curious about everything, we can't understand which is right or which is wrong due to the many options on the internet. And if we get the wrong information, it creates negative examples for us. Teenagers are our future. They are the ones who carry this beautiful tradition and costume passed down to the generation to the future. And technology is hindering this in a big way. For example, visiting elderly in holidays was very important tradition. But now we're just talking on the phone, and that's all. This is horrible thing. At the same time, technology also distances us from our own language. Because of technology, we can even pronounce that have a Turkish counterpart in English. For example, self, the counterpart Turkish is özçekim, but we are saying selfie. It is almost same, right? In addition to, we have started to use the word shortenings that we use when we are texting in our social life. For example, we don't say, instead of saying I don't know, we say IDK, or instead of saying I love you, we say illy. And that makes our language more poorer. It is the teenagers who carry our language and culture to the future. And if we communicate our culture and language simply, there will be no people and culture in the future, because there can be no culture without people and no people without culture. Thank you for listening to me. And that's my last speech.
Okay, thank you. And you also use your time wisely. And now we will continue with the second debater. You may start.
Well, we don't stand for the idea that technology is completely monster for teenagers. Yeah, of course, there are beneficial situation for teenagers in technology, but that doesn't change the fact that radiation, its sense, and it makes us. In the second part, I will keep defending my opinions. So just think that you spend too much time on the screen. Don't you think it will affect you badly? Excessive screen time, especially before bedtime, can disrupt our sleep patterns. Excessive screen time makes it difficult for adolescents to fall asleep and negatively impacting our overall sleep quality. This can result in difficulty concentrating during the day. Will you be okay when you can't concentrate, or even worse, that is not a question, or even worse, you can't think properly because you don't sleep just so you can spend time on social media. Prolonged use of electronic devices can lead to various health problems, including eye strains or headaches, disrupted sleep patterns, or muscle issues. The other thing is, not only teenagers, but parents are become addicted to technology too. They become engrossed in their screens, neglecting meaningful interactions and quality time together. Arguments over screen time rules, constant distractions during family meals, and an atmosphere of detachment and disconnection characterize their household is something that technology use can take on family relationships and dynamics. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, debater. You still have 1 minute if you'd like to continue. Okay, now we will continue with the third debater to make her speech. You can use the microphone over there if you will present via smartphone. Okay.
Now I'm gonna defend my opinion with a slide. Sorry. With the advancement of the technology, social media has become one of the major parts in our life. And also, with the advancement of the technology, social media use is increasing every day. Social media companies know how to capture us, and we don't control it anymore. and also they know how to take over our subconscious. In today's world, almost all teenagers are addicted to social media, and this situation is getting worse day by day. We feel like if we stay from it, we cannot be a part of this life. And this, like we see on the photo, this situation is increasing the anxiety. Being addicted to technology is also harmful for both physically and psychologically. We are watching videos that lasting 15 seconds, and this situation, with this situation, our focus are decreasing, and our time to fall asleep is increasing. Also, this situation leads to some sleep disorders. Now, I'm going to talk about the real side of the social media. With the excessive use of the social media, cyberbullying is increasing. This little girl is one of the victims of the cyberbullying. After the bullying comments that came to her, she couldn't take it anymore and she jumped from a tower. And this little girl is another victim of the cyberbullying. She just had a role in farm advertisement, and she got bullied for years and she couldn't take it anymore too and committed suicide. And now I'm going to talk about television, which is the biggest enemy, one of the biggest enemy of our lives, real life. It doesn't appeal to our five senses, and we think that we touch something, but we are not actually touching anything. And these are the situation of our country compared to Europe. If I have to summarize it, I can say that we are the most smartphone-dependent country in Europe, and our rates are 2 times of the Europe. And we asked 100 people in public, and 64% agree that technology is a master for teenagers. Thank you for listening to me.
Yeah, that's all summarized. Okay, thank you. And I want you to be more careful with your microphones. Even if you don't use it, please louder for video and for us. It will be great. Okay, now we will continue with the opposition side to defend themselves. And you have 3 minutes and you can start.
So, distinguished jurors, esteemed opposition team, and dear audience, as we continue the debate of the issue whether technology is a monster or not, for us teenagers, we can see that technology is not a monster because, like how the second speaker of the proposition team mentioned that, technology makes causes us health issues like eye strains, but like the glasses on my head, like this is the proof of that how technology you can solve the problems of technology with the technology itself, and that how there are online predators online that that aim for kids, unruly kids. However, we can solve these issues by there is an internet safety day that we can use common sense, and by promoting digital literacy and such, we can solve these problems. And even we can only try, but we know that we cannot make humans not evil. Of course there's going to be evil, but we can only do so much and try to, the concepts of the technology lesser and lesser by developing it more. There was even the Google, a multi-rich company that promotes online safety, and that they mentioned that cyberbullying is a big issue, but that's the same thing happens in real life as well, and that technology causes anxiety, but technology also gives some people that are poor that online counseling that may help with them, even they are not have money. So these even though, like I said, there are problems with technology, these problems are going to be less and lesser by developing it more. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, debater, for using your time wisely, and now we will continue with the second debater. You can start.
So, honorable juries, dear government team and dear audience. In my second part of speech, I want to talk about the addiction of technology has become. So, as my friend said, technology is a tool. It's neither used good or bad, but the point here, why teenagers are getting addicted to technology, to games in many kinds, social medias and whatever. So basically, the teenagers has a lot of stress going on. They had a lot of pressures that has been given from their parents, their friends. So they are under so much stress. Then because of this issue, they want to cut the relations with the real life. When teenagers want to play games, the child forgets everything that he knows and only concentrates the game is playing. So because of this, he become more happy even with the help of technology. But so I want to ask you a question. Which country has the most suicide rates? It's Japan, right? But why Japan has the most suicide? Because the people in Japan are so much more workaholic. That means because of this, if they get bad notes or something like that happens, they want to end their life. And even also this in their tradition. The thing called harakiri is an old tradition in Japan and made when the test that given by a person is not completed. So basically, when teenagers in Japan are not happy with the result they get, they committed suicide. But when the people who are using technology or the addicted or the people who are surfing on social media, when they have so much stress in their lives, they are making it forget with the technological developments, with technology. And that helps people to get addicted to bad habits. That helps teenagers not to get addicted to bad habits like drugs or cigarettes. Because they are so obsessed and so they are addicted to it. Technology, and they don't have time, and they don't need to get addicted to drugs or some kind of bad habits.
Thank you, debater, and third debater may speak.
Okay. I want to start my speech by talking about the question that the first speaker of the proposition team has talked about. She said, "Can you leave your device for 1 hour and sit with your family?" I mean, I have no idea how to prove this, but I can. Yes. Since I have answered the question, I'll talk about something else. You said that we are not using the Turkish meanings of words that it's selfie, I want to wake you up on something. It is not that we have created the selfie, so it is Turkish. They created the phenomena, so we use it in English. It is pretty normal. It is in science, it is in philosophy, it is in every aspect of life. If you haven't created in your own language, you cannot make up a terminology after it. So with that being said, and I want to talk about this research. I think this research doesn't capture all of the information about teenagers. There are millions, 100 millions of teenagers around the world, and there are just 100 people here. I want to ask, which 100 people is that? There may not even be 100 people at the start. And with that being said, I want to talk about my own research that I conducted myself in my class. Our class consists of 26 people, and I asked all of them, how many of you have used your phone or technology for homework? You know how many of them said yes? 26 of them said yes. And I asked, and this is the crucial point, how many of you have killed yourself because of blue ray? You know how many of them said yes? 0. Because None of them. Because it's such a minority. You know, you talk like teenagers only use technology in the social media and other stuff. And unless, I mean, if the proposition team either doesn't consider microphone a technology or they, I don't know, microphone is a technology and you use it. You are a teenager too. Unless you're not a teenager and microphone is not a technology, what you say is true. And I want to talk about this. You said the tendency to be popular has been bolstered with the technology's improvements. I mean, the French psychoanalyst and also the French anthropologist Claude Lévi-Strauss and Jacques Lacan would disagree with you. And they have proved that the desire to be desired by the other is present through even primitive people's lives. So, and one more thing. They were talking about video games bolstering the violence, crime rates. If you look at, I mean, I strongly advise you to search this in the internet, everyone here, that when the video games were published, violence rates was lowering down. It is because it's the same kind of killing in the video game that they do. It's not that we can say technology has been improved, we kill more than we killed in the medieval age. This is unacceptable and it is, I think, a bad logic. Thank you.
Thank you, debater. Now we will continue with the third part of our debate, and you have to choose someone among you to speak up.
Okay, I want to give you a brief summary of what is monster technology and why is it dangerous for teenagers. Monster technology is a metaphorical term often used to describe the negative aspects or consequences of technology when it is misused or its unintended consequences lead to harm. It symbolizes the potential dangers and drawbacks associated with technological advancements. Just like a monster, technology can sometimes appear scary or powered and capable of causing harm if not handled with care and responsibility. This concept highlights the need for ethical considerations, regulations, and responsible usage of technology to mitigate its adverse effects and ensure that it serves humanity positively rather than becoming a destructive force. Let's see briefly why technology is such a monstrous thing. Technology can pose significant dangers to teenagers in various ways. Excessive screen time can lead to physical health issues like eye strain, obesity, and disrupted sleep patterns. Moreover, the presence of social media platforms can expose teens to online harassment or cyberbullying and unrealistic standards of beauty or success, contributing to mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, or low self-esteem. Additionally, the addiction of technology can lead to decreased productivity, social isolation, and neglect of real-life relationships. Without proper guidance or boundaries, technology can become a detrimental force in the lives of teenagers, impacting their well-being and development negatively. So I want to say that online addiction is nothing for teenagers because all of the teenagers don't use them for their benefits. Like we use social media for TikTok and I don't know, for Instagram. And for Japanese people, they commit suicide because they use technology all the time. I mean, that's what makes them the '1 country for technology, I guess. And we use in such terms in Turkish too, like teme or bebe, like we use them in Turkish too. It's not only English, we use them in Turkish too. So I said earlier that the Blue Whale case, it happened a few years ago. It's still not going, I can say that. And it's not happening right now, I can say that. So I think that's all. Okay, thank you.
Okay. That was really good for using time wisely. And now we will continue with the opposition's side to summarize their speech.
first speaker of the government, opposition team, I'd like to summarize my team's arguments. Summarize my team's arguments, and indicating that why we should win this argument. It is pretty clear, I think. We, from the beginning of our speech, indicated that yes, technology can also have harms. You could do this debate on anything. You could say that planes are a monster for teenagers. Yeah, for people, you could say why some planes do crash and some don't. But only way to make planes not crash anymore is with the technology. And if you call technology a monster because some planes do crash, it should be the opposite. Yeah, you get what I mean? It should be the opposite. You should call technology a savior because some planes do crash, yes, but to make them not crash, you need technology. That is what we were trying to emphasize from the beginning of our speech. And what we emphasized second, that was so important, was that all these people who are harmed, cyberbullied, and have been done and other things, we don't know their background. We don't know anything about them. Yes, yet we know about ourselves. I can probably guess about your background in this very room. And we know that we use technology for good. My team and our wish is to make you remember something. Don't forget what you already know. You already know that you use technology for good. It is such a minority that this technology affected people and all this stuff. You already use technology, you use smart boards, you use microphones, you use cards, you use your phones for your homework, and I strongly advise you to not forget all these beauties which you are not aware of. That was what we are trying to emphasize, and that's why you should do. Thank you.
You still have 1 minute if you'd like to continue. Okay, so thanks to the both sides, it was a little bit tense, but fun also, and